Okay, what's up, everybody? Um, Today I'm just doing a hopefully pretty quick stream. Obviously, yeah, the markets are closed. If there's anybody subscribed that got the notification and thinks I'm dumb because I'm going live and trading today, markets are closed for Good Friday. I just wanted to do a recap from yesterday because yesterday I did not stream, and as you'll know, I don't stream on Thursdays. So, 1 second, let me just double check. While I'm checking the stream on my phone, obviously, I've put a Discord into the description. I didn't have one before. Somebody asked, if I had one, and I figured why not. So there's a free Discord now. If you want to join, hang out, be my guest. I'm still kind of working out how to use it and how it's going to work per se. Like I think I'll really only do a lot more call outs on Thursdays, considering I won't be live. Um, But every other day, I mean, I'm probably going to be like streaming. So in the way I trade, I mean, I'll give like maybe regardless, I'll do some sort of like pre-market analysis in Discord. I'll do a little write-up or something because I'm not always early on the stream. Sometimes I kind of hop on at 9:30 right at or 5 or 10 minutes after 9:30 or sometimes 10 o'clock depending. So yeah, so I'll figure it out. And like for a really like lowest latency, I guess maybe the voice channel on Discord. I'm not really sure though, and I'll have to figure out how to set it up to where, nobody else can just kind of come in and talk. So, anywho, right. So that's that. If you want to check that out, that's going to be in the description. Oh, right. My bad. It just has sound. Um, yes. Sorry, let me just get this set up real quick. Okay. So yeah, and obviously the Avanti merch. If you want to check it out, Avanti's my brand. Link in the description if you like a clean, simple logo, uh, with some cool meaning behind it. Check that out, avnti.co. So yeah, let's get into it. So yesterday. So yesterday in the Discord, so I woke up. I always like take a look at the higher time frame charts first, first thing in the morning, and kind of see where we're at. So Wednesday we had a bit of a reversal day, big puke down, right? So coming into midnight, or at least coming into the next night, this is what we get. Let's mark out midnight. I have this all marked out in my other charts too as well on Topstep, which I'll show you. It really should have been a much bigger day for me yesterday, but I kind of squandered it. Is that a word, squander? I don't know. It's close if it's not. It is very close if it's not a word. Um, but I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, so immediately, if you look at daily profiles or if you kind of just study, like or how order blocks are formed or whatnot, you'll see that. Well, actually, sorry, let me rewind. So this is the daily. This is the opening gap. Okay, new day opening gap, new day opening gap for Wednesday. We climb all the way through Asia. We create these equal lows, or these like very low resistance lows on the hourly chart between both indexes. We continue to climb all the way up till Globex Open. Globex Open comes up, we have a London reversal profile. So we have both ES and NQ, and I'm just going to use this. Well, you could look at ES is a little bit cleaner because it's just one up close candle. Let's see if it's NQ may have showed slightly differently. It did not, but pretty much the same crap. So, so we have a London reversal where we come up into this old imbalance, right? Body's respected pretty much perfectly. Let's draw out our change in state of delivery here. just make this default. Is there a default line? No, that's fine. I'll just keep it pink because I don't feel like changing it. Because when the week opens, I'll have to. All right, fine. Don't be lazy. So we have change in state of delivery on the hourly, both ES and NQ. And again, this is happening above midnight, so we're in a premium. None of this exists yet. This is all later action over here for ES both. But immediately I see this type of move. This is pretty much where I'm at. I guess I could use the replay feature, but just follow me for a second. So, bearish fair value gap. Yesterday's inversion fair value gap, right, from the hourly. Look at how ES is respecting that. 8 o'clock, 6 or 7 o'clock. So we have bearish fair value gap here. Inversion gap from yesterday. We're floating right around midpoint here. And maybe if I bring up the maybe if I bring up the tweet, you'll see that I kind of, let me just hide the screen real quick so I could bring up my Twitter. I'm just bringing up the Twitter because it shows the Discord kind of post where I can easily sort of show you. Okay. All right, here we are. So, long story short, I give this sort of explanation in Discord at 8 o'clock. Okay, possible Thursday continuation to the downside, London reversal daily profile. Invalidation point above that high marked in red, which is that hourly change in state of delivery right here. Okay. I do note that there's some SMT on the lows, but NQ lows are too clean and the M15 are wickless. So the SMT on the lows was between these lows. So let's mark that out for you. Okay, so we had that, and we had this. Okay, that's going into 7. So traditionally, you would kind of shy away from this. But given all the context, right, look at how we're acting here, look at how we're acting, in this gap, bodies can't even close above. NQ doesn't have the fair value gap, but we do have the order block, okay? And also, I mean, there's more SMT at 8. We're taking highs and ES doesn't. So, but really what I was kind of looking at was the structure of what these lows looked like. So on MNQ, it was actually a little bit more obvious. I have these marked out, by the way, just because they were then liquidity targets. I'm going to take this away. These are, for the most part, wickless to me. Like, little to no wick. If we go here, pretty sure on MNQ they were, yeah, there was a wickless, pretty much wickless candle, okay? And it almost made equals with this. So that's why I'm saying there's SMT, but I'm choosing to ignore it because the NQ lows are too clean and the M15 are wickless. And basically, like, I'm gonna know if I'm gonna know if I'm wrong if we invalidate the high, and if we don't, then I'm shooting for those lows. And I said you also have ES using yesterday's hourly gap as resistance. I'd be looking for ES to show continued weakness through the SMT lows as confirmation to the downside. So at the moment, like, again, we do have more SMT on these highs. So from here to here and here to here, we have, ES getting shoved right around midnight, all towards key levels. These bearish signals are happening. So now what I'm saying is if ES continues to climb lower, and I'm looking at a 1 minute at this point, I'm going to use that as validation that, it's not a true reversal. Like that SMT is not signifying a true reversal. And if you look at the structure here, it's just very weak rally structure, right? All low resistance. Sorry, my allergies are so bad. I'm like, I have to clear my throat all the time. So, long story short, I feel like recaps are such a pain because I'm never really organized when I'm doing them. So I just need to, I delete drawings, then I need them again. Okay, so these were the SMT lows, right? ES continues to take these lows like through before 9:30 open, right? We stab again. So again, so right then and there, it's kind of, confirming my narrative that the NQ lows are probably fake, and ES is helping me with that. Okay, through like because it's stabbed below this low again, and we get around 9:30 open. Let's scroll over to that. So yeah, so we have right before 9:30, we stab above these kind of equal highs, and on a 15-second chart, you'll see this is very clean. These are very clean highs. Into midnight, we start to puke down. I do say that I'm waiting for 9:30, of course, which is somewhere over here. Is there another photo? Maybe not. But in the Discord, you'll see that I say I'm waiting for 9:30. So I wait for 9:30 to happen. We instantly kind of puke down. First target gets hit. Now immediately, let's switch to MNQ because this is what I'm looking at now. Immediately on 9:30, we take these lows, right? Boom, first target hit. But we leave the new day opening gap alone on NQ or on MNQ, while on NQ we do indeed enter it. So at this point I'm like, I'm gonna sit and watch, but I'm really looking for previous day's low, like as an all, like this is like basically a daily candle profile, right? So we're aiming for daily targets. So yesterday's low is the end all be all target, but obviously I have low hanging fruit objectives, which are not that low hang, point wise are not very low hanging because of the volatility. So usually I usually just take those and then I'm done. But whatever. So NQ's in here, but I'm not really buying the whole story. Also, like in the morning, we did have, let's see. Oh no, I'm getting ahead of myself. That's fine. Or that was actually. So this on the 15-second timer, I'm not going to do it because it's such a pain. So on 15-second time frame, you can see that this was the signal to get short SMT in the 1 minute within the 1 minute fair value gap. Same here for NQ. On the 15-second, you'll see, if you want to go in and look for yourself, you'll see this as a 15-second up close candle and another up close candle coming right up and just never getting to it. That was that was going to be my first short. I was just too slow. So after we don't enter into here, I basically shoot a message into the Discord saying like, hey, I think this has to go lower. So I guess we could dive down into a 15-second now. I guess I'll go for it. So, but you can see I go basically NQ has to go lower. I'm looking to get short again. I'm waiting for SMT on the highs to get short again. ES now also didn't enter into the new day opening gap. So that's like another thing that I'm waiting for. Is like I'm also not gonna give up on shorts until ES gets in there. Sorry, this takes forever, but okay. So we run up. Again, I'm looking to get short again here. Take out a whole bunch of these highs. One more stab back up into the original low target. So that's like your standard support turned resistance idea. I do use that sometimes. And also there was a good move. So we get up, take this high, leave this high alone, which I like. Drown down, change in state of delivery. I'm short here, looking for the move down here. I get it. I then get trailed out because I only exit like I think I was in like 2 here. I took off 1 in here. as it started to trail out again, like it was building these lows, I was like, took out another one, and then it got trailed out above this high, or I think actually even, because again, I'm waiting for previous day's low, which is all the way down here. I'm thinking I have a monster trade. I get stopped out, and then I'm like, well, why are we turning around here? And I notice how strong ES is pushing too, like back up into this gap. So I'm like, wow, like, am I wrong? And if you look, YM also already took its previous day's low. So that's here. So you'll see that YM already puked previous day's low a while ago. So I'm starting to think like, oh, am I offside here? Are the other indexes not going to turn around? Is this a false daily profile? No Thursday continuation. So at this point, I'm looking around and I go, YM is, and this is ignored, has an hourly gap that it's refusing to kind of enter in. This is why I sort of hate YM as well. So YM's in this hourly, or trying to push into this hourly gap relentlessly. And as we're pushing up, I'm starting to think like, well, hey, I should probably wait until YM gets up into this gap. So, but to me, I'm like, oh, the indexes are just pushing up because YM has to get up into the hourly gap. I'll wait for another short opportunity. This is where this is where it becomes a bit difficult here. And this is where I say like it should have been a bigger day, but it wasn't. So here we have, as YM is pushing up, ES is still kind of getting caught in the hourly fair value gap, but I'm kind of like choosing to ignore certain facts. Like at any point in the day, like technicals are always telling me something, but I have to pick and choose which ones I have to listen to based on what the other indexes are doing and what type of narrative makes more sense. Okay, so ES at this point gives a very clear signal, right, which is SMT with NQ. And that's what this high really. Okay, but NQ even really makes equals here, pretty much. But holds the 930 open high. Okay, so it makes equals with this one, but holds 930 open high there. Okay, SMT, and we start to puke down. Now, YM also pukes down. I don't sell this SMT right away, which typically I would. Typically, I'm like, this is a great setup because, again, I'm convinced we should be going for previous day low. But given the narrative of everything else, I'm like, we may get invalidated here if YM has not reached out into the hourly gap yet, right, which is up here. So you can see as the cursor moves, where are we? So YM takes the first kind of down move, right? And I don't trust it yet. I'm thinking this could be offset accumulation to the upside for NQ, meaning we're going to take out this low, move into these gaps, into this set of down close candles, right? That took this low, so this is now an order block. Dig into here, and we may go higher. And you can see YM's going higher, right? ES is using the bottom of this hourly gap now as some sort of support. YM's climbing high, and all the while, NQ, so this would be your short, by the way, for the SMT. You would short this 1 minute fair value gap. But I'm not, because of these certain things that I'm waiting for to happen, waiting for it to confirm, right, that I'm going to be on sides or not. But I'm thinking about the bull case now. Not to take the trade, but just why I wouldn't take the short. So you see that we invert the 1 minute after taking this like low, this weird stab move, this stop run type move. So at this point, I'm convinced like, oh, I'm right. I write in the Discord that like, hey, I think it might be smart to wait until YM takes this hourly fair value gap. YM does YM things, okay, and this is very typical. Gets right up close to the hourly fair value gap and starts to puke. And so does ES and NQ. Now at this point, I'm like, ugh. Like, okay, maybe YM's doing that weird thing. I have to kind of take what it is, like listen to the higher time frame daily profile. We have change in state of delivery again on the 1 minute. Look how we're respecting it. Okay, after reclaiming that fair value gap on the 1 minute, look how it comes up into the midpoint, taps it, immediately shoots down. It's after that, right, and paired with ES, look how ES comes up into that same sort of midpoint. This is later because I'm still not in yet. I'm waiting. I see that we left this gap again, so we hadn't touched it. ES comes up, rams up into the midpoint of the hourly gap and sells off hard. We leave an imbalance there. I go, okay, fine. You know, maybe YM's just not going to take the hourly gap. And I don't put too much weight on YM in terms of timing. Like the timing's not always great. And sometimes it builds very equal, like weird, it'll chop around a lot. It's just not, it's not the same as if I want ES or NQ to move into a target before taking a trade. The idea is correct, but YM may not, like, a ton of stuff can happen in between YM taking that target and, you know, ES or NQ not. Like it can decouple for longer periods of time than ES and NQ usually do. So that's why I decide, okay, I'm going to take the short. So then I short again here. After ES runs up into the midpoint, you can see the perfect reaction. That's kind of the stuff that I look for, like the perfection. It runs down. Same thing here. We get a stab up into this gap. That's IOFED. I get short. And then I'm pretty much same sort of deal. I'm holding for a bigger trade, and I'm on the 15-second chart at this point, so I guess we'll move all the way into it. And I won't rewind. You know, these aren't that pertinent anymore. So we get this type of move, okay, with tons of breakaways up on the upside. Change in state of delivery over here. Comes out, takes this high into this gap. That's our IOFED. I get short this move. Okay. I'm holding, I'm holding, I'm holding, I'm holding. This is a very sketchy move, but when we make equals and then we drown, typically I'm not looking for it to come back up. And mind you, now I have the new day opening gap as what I believe should be resistance. I don't want to see us come back up. So I trim 1 or 2 here. I think it was, I had a position of 3 actually. So I trimmed 1 and then I just rammed the stop. After we gave up this new week opening gap, I rammed the stop right above these equal highs because I'm thinking this is a breakaway gap. We should not go up in there. And on the 1 minute, here we go again. We're going to have to completely drag the stuff over. We should have just stayed put. 1 minute reclaims. So it comes down, closes back above, takes my stop in the process. So now I have to be sidelined. Okay. I guess we're looking at ES again. Now let's look. Once we get back below, change in state of delivery again. I get short again. Okay, well, it's actually here. ES is, you know, obviously moving into its new week opening gap, and it's kind of just, I mean, new day opening gap, and it's just kind of puking it. So NQ's already below. I retake the shorts, and now you ask, what are you aiming for now? We have these lows, okay, here. So that's another one of my low-hanging fruits. Well, I guess, whatever. Change state delivery again. We're just shorting that. Short here. Take a little bit of heat. It pukes down again, takes the low. Of course, I trim. And then you'll see this is where I completely close out here. So 15-minute balance price range. That was my end-all be-all target. Here and here. I try to hold through it, but you'll see like we start to respect the bottom end of it. And then if I move down to a 5-minute wickless candle in the 5-minute here, I draw that out in time. What do? Nail it, and then reverse. So on a lower time frame, you'll see what I was looking at. So I gave it a shot here, because again, you know, this is pretty much my new invalidation point is above here. I give it a shot, comes back down. Once I start to see this rally back up in, I'm out because of what I saw in the 5-minute. Okay, and that ended my short side. That ended the shorts for me that day. I was done. I was done on this account. So you'll see yesterday I think we did like 250 bucks or something, 230 bucks. Okay, so then obviously there was a lot because I got trailed out a whole bunch and yeah, got trailed out a ton. And it was just taking stabs at it multiple times. and then trying to add into winners, whatnot. So yeah, the executions were messy, but it was just like second guessing the shorts the whole time because of YM. And that's why yesterday, like I said, yesterday should have been a home run day. Should have been an easy short from here all the way down into like, targets and just hold, but YM was messing with me. And then quickly I'll go over the long, like 2 seconds. You'll see I have certain stuff marked out. Let me just delete some clutter off the chart. Get rid of that, get rid of this. So let's look at the 1 minute. And this I took on my other account. And if you want to look at the pictures, you can join the Discord. So YM, everybody's starting to reverse here. I'm starting to think like, okay, like, I'll take a stat at it long. Why not? On my other account, because I don't mind trading the counter trend. And keep in mind, I still have, it's really after this type of move. So looking up, what do we have, right? We have on ES, lots of like low resistance highs here, like very shallow kind of runs, a lot of equal looking highs here, just building resistance, like, this is weak to me, okay? YM still has that hourly gap, right? That I'm like, can't believe that we didn't enter in. So when we rally here, I look to take a long. After seeing how we react on that 5-minute wick list in a 15-minute balanced price range, okay, look at ES. ES never even entering into that 15-minute balanced price range. So that's SMT, right? Or no, excuse me, I'm wrong about that, because that's actually up here. But whatever. 5-minute, well, if you look on the lower time frames, you can see ES is like, gets up in there and then it's just kind of holding this gap. We're flagging in that gap. I get long here because I'm like, this, if this is a London continuation, like we should just be drowning. Like it should just be a trend day to the downside. I don't understand why why we're moving so cleanly through these technicals. So get to a 15-second. That's really what I had. So this is a 15-second fair value gap. I'm just long in here, really, just waiting. Then we get this move all the way up. At that point, I'm pretty much concerned, or I'm not concerned that I'm offside anymore. I trim aggressively into here and I leave one runner. At that point, I'm calling for 1509, which you'll see somewhere over here. So I say currently in a long on my other account, looking to hold for 18509, just one runner, but entries at 310.50 and stop at break even. Okay, so 310.50 is here somewhere, like right around here, and we get the run up here somewhere, and I'm like, all right, throw the stop in. Let's rip a runner. You'll see that it starts to, I'm kind of just going over my thoughts during the whole thing. What's interesting is at this point, I think I could be screwed because we run back up into the midpoint of ES's hourly gap. There's more SMT here. And then what we also run up into is the midpoint of this initial run up, okay, which is also the 15-minute order block. Okay, that's right here. 5 minutes, a little bit cleaner actually. It's this whole range. Boom, boom. We hit 50% of that perfectly, and we start to drown. So this is where the market is doing some crazy stuff. I'm holding here, it doesn't matter. My stop is right around here. And I'm pretty sure my stop is safe because of like how this wick came down to the open and ran away. I'm not thinking we should really go below here, so that's why I left my stop at even, and I didn't want to jam it up to these lows or whatever. Basically, you just have to hold through all this whipsaw, but you'll see, like, if you were watching price at that moment, all these up close candles were aggressive. Like we were ripping, like they were almost algo-driven spikes where it would rip up and then immediately get shut back down. Same thing, rip up, immediately get shut back down. Takes these lows, rips up again, shove back down. And this is when Trump had the announcements of like a China deal or something. I'm holding it here after being like disheartened, like being up 100 points multiple times because of these lows. They were like, or these highs. They were like tweezer tops on MNQ. And I'm like, there's no shot that those hold. Yeah, they were up here. And on the 1 minute, it looked a lot better. So, and again, it was just a runner, so I didn't really care. And the target was 1509 anyway. Because remember those equals from the morning at like 10 o'clock, 9:50? That was my target. So I'm holding, obviously, once we get back above, I take it off right around here for 150 points because I'm like, all right, I'm done. I got a weird feeling about it. And if it was like a really good headline spike, it would have just spiked all the way up. You'll see, we do end up coming up to take that level. So I could have gotten there, but who cares? Yeah, that's it. I mean, how long have we been going here? This is like a long video. That was the long. Just held. It was just holding a runner. There's nothing super special about it. It's obviously insane to hold. It sucked. And if I was in a, that's why it pays to take partials. I partialed out most of the position like right above these highs. So I already made plenty of money from the position. So the runner was just like an ego kind of gravy trade. So glad, I took it off, and then I'm glad I did because then it puked right back down, and I definitely would have trailed at least to like here, or I would have felt like in total dunce if I gave up 150 points again on a runner. That's at some point it doesn't make sense to give up the money to be right. I was right enough, and what I get out at 450 and 509 is another 50 points away. Big deal. So I locked in a healthy profit there. And that was it. That was my day. I was done. So I'm sorry if that was like convoluted or like very unorganized. I'm not great at the recaps because I try to like really give you every thought. But yeah, that's pretty much how my brain was working. So I'm gonna leave like these things marked out. And again, like obviously I'm still bullish on macro on the market. Like I still like this structure as a low resistance structure to get long on. Let me take this stuff away because this is gross. My bad, my bad. So yeah, like these types of highs here, I typically don't, those are highs to target as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, I'm still kind of bullish. Yeah. And we'll see. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to fight what's in front of me for too long. I try not to do that. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens next week. It's, day by day. But I am looking for, like, obviously I could have been bullish today or yesterday, but I wasn't because charts told me not to be until they told me to, which was down here. So yeah, that's it. That's going to end the recap. Again, I'm sorry if it's like super boring, but that's just the way it is, man. There's nothing super, super interesting about it. You sit here, you wait, you watch paint dry until, you get a chance to do something, and then you hope you don't mess it up. That's pretty much it. So yeah, that was my day yesterday. It was a good day. We're doing well on the account. We're getting close. So we recovered our blunder day. So 52303, we're at a new account high at 52326. So we're about what? $23 higher than we were on the 14th. Hooray. So yeah, stats are okay. 44% overall win rate. That's because I take a lot of small trades that I'll just immediately cut, and also did some dumb stuff. So yeah, that's what we got. So far, it's a good looking chart. Hopefully, we keep it that way, and we can pass the account. I will see you guys later. Have a great weekend. I hope it was helpful. And yeah, 35 minutes, that was a lot longer than I wanted it to be. I'm going to try to, going forward, I will try to make notes and I will do this a little bit more than, a little more organized than just winging it. But a piece of me does think the raw thoughts are better. You can let me know if you care to comment or whatever. I'll try out both anyway. But if you comment and somebody has an opinion or a preference, I will try to oblige. All right. See you later, everybody.